Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brew and Babble. Richard, hello. And Zanka's here and Dev's here. Hello, hello, hello. What did you say? Richard said, can't believe it's already the fourth Brew and Babble. I know. I just started the other day. That's exactly how I feel. Um, Let me just grab me notes here to see what's going on. There's actually not a lot this week anyway. There's some your obvious bloody witch talk stuff and stuff like that. Hello, Andrea. Thank you for joining. Yeah, there's a load of witch talk stuff. There's a whole thing going on about what's it? Dr. Kate Thomas is going on about Gaia TV being anti-Semitic. Well, she's actually calling it what does she call it? Zionist neo-Nazi platform. Okay, which I think a lot of people would agree with anyway. But then there's another witch talker, that Glasgow witch, who went on to Gaia TV and was on one of the shows and whatnot. So Dr. Kate Thomas is going off about that, and then everybody who supports that Glasgow witch is like laying into Dr. Kate Thomas. I think next week what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up the old song by Wiley Coyote, I think his name was, called Witch Wars, and I'm going to play that because it's just hysterical. It really is. They go crazy. But as I said, apart from that stuff, there's not a lot. There is one interesting TikTok or Witch Talk story though. Let's see. It's Dan the Sorcerer, or I think he also calls himself Sorcerer Dan or something, and Ambrosia the Witch. So you've got Malvin Daniel Spaulding, who goes by Dan the Sorcerer, and then you've got Amberly Rose, who is Ambrosia the Witch. Huge following, like 160,000 TikTok followers. But Dan the Sorcerer is suing Amberly or Ambrosia the Witch for defamation. Um, just checking what the whole thing was. So the allegations, Spalding filed a lawsuit after Rose allegedly posted statements in January 2026 calling him a sexual predator and unfit for the spiritual community. She also apparently went on about him being a MAGA witch and all of this stuff. And so it was on the California Post. It was reported there. It's been on YouTube. It's been on AOL News. All of this stuff. You got this one witch is suing this other witch on TikTok and whatnot. And the funniest part is, I actually saw this myself. I saw the video that Ambrosia the Witch did. She's got no idea who this person is. She doesn't know who it is. She doesn't remember saying anything about him because she doesn't even know who he is. So she doesn't have a clue where this is coming out of, and she's had no reports or anything of being sued. So it really gets funnier and funnier on Witch Talk. But anyway, uh, all right. So let's move on from that. There are really only one story. There are a couple of things on Wild Hunt stuff, but uh, not really anything that's worth reporting. Newsworthy anyway. So there is, however, this is a very interesting one. There's a new temple that's been discovered in Turkey, which well, it has been discovered. It was discovered a while back, but well, a long while back. But I'll get into all the text, all the stuff down now. But it's only recently been discovered that it was probably a temple to Hecate, which I find very interesting because the other one was Anatolia, the one in Anatolia. That was to Hecate in Turkey, what we now know as Turkey anyway. Or no, sorry, is it Turkey now or Persia? I can't remember. It switched from Turkey to Persia, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, regardless. So it's called the Small Temple, all right? And this sits on the mountaintop in southwestern Turkey. It's part of the men's sanctuary. a site dedicated to men, not the human men, the men as in a moon god, widely worshipped across ancient Pisidia and Phrygia. So archaeologists first excavated the temple back in 1912, and based on the evidence available then, tentatively labeled it probably Demeter's, the Greek goddess of agriculture and fertility. Psycat, hello Psycat. I should keep the name of my alter ego as Pookie Amber. Amber is a good name. Amber's a great name, yeah. But anyway, so now, over a century later, researchers are re-examining that call, well, calling it Demeter's temple, basically, and now reporting from the archaeology outlet Ancientist says figurines and reliefs recovered from both the original 1912 dig and more recent excavations point instead to Hecate, goddess of night, crossroads, the underworld, and dogs. The strongest supporting clue is the number of dog burials found in the surrounding area, since dogs were closely tied to Hecate in Greek myth and cult practice. Um, an octagonal pedestal at the site, likely built to hold cult statues, also fits a Hecate identification. And researchers stress this is suggestive, not conclusive. All right, so still carrying on to do some findings and discoveries there in this regard, but yeah, I don't see why not. Let's see if it holds up. This would be the second confirmed Hecate temple in Turkey, after the much larger and better known Lagina sanctuary in Mughla, which is currently being restored and already draws modern pagan pilgrims. Having a second site changes the picture of how far Hecate's cult actually spread through Anatolia, and it suggests the men's sanctuary hosted a more layered, multi-deity spiritual landscape than historians previously assumed. A moon god and an underworld crossroads goddess shared sacred ground. Yeah, so that's pretty fun. I like that. Wasn't Iran Persia? I don't know. Seeing we like to discover things on my lives, we're just going to find out. Was Persia Turkey or Iran? Let's have a look. Oh, Persia was Iran, yes. Okay, so there we go. So what was Turkey? Yes, this is the news outlet where we go and discover things as well. Why the hell not? Turkey's most recent official name change in English is Turkey. While historically the region was known as the Ottoman Empire, and the geographic peninsula itself has long been called Anatolia. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. So Anatolia became Turkey. Persia became Iran. By the looks of it. Please excuse me for my history and geography. I was never really in at school. Oh no, my history and geography were awful. They still are. Don't worry. No, as long as I've got pin location on my phone, I'm good. Blame the British Empire. All right, so the one thing I can report very excitedly, because I love books, as we know, um, there's Crosscrow Books, which I haven't actually, I don't think I've announced anything from them in the past Brew and Babbles, But they currently have, it's new, I think it came out June. The Craft of Tubal Cain, Traditional Witchcraft and the Legacy of Robert Cochrane by Kenneth Johnson. So that's exciting. I want that book, but I can't get it yet because where I am, just not available, and it doesn't look like it's available on Kindle. So I can't even buy it in that version either. Then coming up on August 25th, Foundations of Witchcraft, a Black Feather Mystery School Training Manual by Irene Glass and Kane Dreamwalker. I have never heard of these authors, but apparently they're pretty good. Then from Red Wheel and Weiser, yesterday actually launched a new book, Tarot, The Open Labyrinth. This is a 40th anniversary edition, Understanding Your Journey Through the Cards by Rachel Pollock. And then I think this was still to be released. Let me just double check. If for any Damien Eccles supporters and fans, The Alchemy of the Broken Blade, Forging Inner Transformation from the Fire of Experience by Damien Eccles. This has a release date of September 17th. All right. Just put it in there. I'll put this in the description, the notes below after the show. Right, so there is that one for any, as I said, any Damien Eccles fans. That would be great for them. Nia, hello Nia, thanks for joining. Psycat said Zoroastrianism in India, they are a religious minority here, yet deeply respected here. Yeah, I believe there's like little pockets of Zoroastrianism all over the place, even got in America and things like that. Very kind of small, tight-knit groups, but they still practicing. How am I today? I'm very good, thank you. Extremely good. How are you today? And Andrea said, Cookie Amber is a fantastic name, meant to be Pookie Amber. Pookie Amber. Oh, and then one last book that's on my list here. This is only coming out in October though, and it is fiction. But I'm starting to get into my fiction. I'm reading like fiction in the evenings. I'll show you the book I'm reading just now. But this is Hecate's Labyrinth by Michael Lightsey. But what I'll do, all of these books I'll put in the description after the show, and there's all Amazon links there, short links to get to those books. They are affiliate links, as all my Amazon links are, so I get a little commission which I then go and buy other books to review. But let me show you. I'm actually reading this at the moment in the evenings. Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Very interesting book. Still can't figure it out or what direction it's going in, but I'm enjoying it though. This was actually, I read one of Morgan Daimler's books on the fairy folk. It was her, let me actually get the title for you because it was a very good book. It was kind of like centered around the 21st century, so modern interpretations of working with the fae folk. And she has like a whole book list in the back of recommended reading and stuff, and from different, from like fiction to non-fiction and everything else. It was called, let me find the book. There's so many, she's got so many books, it's unbelievable. No, I wasn't supposed to go there. Let's just try Goodreads. In the meantime, Nia says, I plan to do some magical upkeeping today, but it's so unbearably hot that I don't have any energy. Can't focus. I believe so. I believe it's still boiling there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I have to start switching soon. You can have my cold and I'll have your heat. Let's see. Not that one. It's not that one. Come on, go down. scroll, move. There we go. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. You want a prolific writer. Bloody hell, Morgan Damer. It just goes on and on and on. Wasn't that one? I can't find it now. Something to do with 21st century. Morgan Daimler book. 21st century. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm sure it was this one, 21st Century Fairy. It was a... Yes, it was a 21st Century Fairy. The Good Folk in the New Millennium. It's a Pagan Portals release. That was very good. Anyway, so there we go. Right. I think that's it for today. As I said, there's not much news. But I do thank everybody for popping in. If there's anything you want to chat about quickly before in the next few minutes, we can do. Yeah. Well, you should be going into fall. I assume fall is autumn. We don't use the term fall here, so I always get confused with that. You should be moving into there because I have been feeling very springy the last few days here in South Africa anyway. It's still cold as hell, but it's just got that springy feeling to it, so it should start moving. 22 degrees Celsius isn't bad. That's my winter. It's currently 18 degrees Celsius here. It's winter time. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I think I'm gonna go and yeah, as I said, thank you for being here and listening to me brew and babble. Well, I've got my brew. I didn't even drink it. Listen to me babble then. I'll drink the coffee. All right. Have a good one. Hopefully see you on Thursday. Thursday I'm going to be talking about Devil in the Craft from a kind of a folk witchcraft perspective. All right. Okay, have a good one. Cheerio. Thanks for watching.